I'm your plastic and enthusiastic host, Rhea Lefevre.
I'm your fantastic scholastic host, Will Kauser.
And then, keep up next time, bro.
Whoa. Jamie Taco saying my lines faster than I can.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got that Pegasus energy. Guys, we're okay. We're okay. The podcast isn't over. It's gonna be okay. We're okay. I'm okay. Will's okay. Everybody's all right. We're gonna be fine. I got that Pegasus energy in me. We got content. We got bits. We got goofs. We got laughs. It's okay. Fairytopia took something from us, but it's back. We're fine. I'm good. I'm healing. How about you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
This was a fun one.
Yeah.
I thought that it was over, legitimately. After Fairytopia. I thought it was all going to just keep getting worse, and I think it will be, and I think we'll reach a point much lower than Fairytopia for probably most of the rest of this Barbie series. But
we got there's peaks and valleys.
There's good stuff in there too.
And are the peaks gonna peak a little less tall? Maybe, but there's still some peaks, you know. Do you want to tell everybody what we watched?
Barbie, Magic of Pegasus?
I think it's Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus.
This one's hard.
Which I thought my entire life that it was Barbie and the Magic of the Pegasus. But no, it's just Magic of Pegasus.
Which there are a lot of Pegasi.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah.
I'd wager 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And none of them, you want to know something? None of them have magic.
Yeah, they're all just kind of winged horses.
They're just horses with wings.
Yeah.
Which I would say
I never
is
thought about that.
Magical in the way that like a good double stuffed Oreo is magical.
Yeah.
But there's no magic.
You ever been to a rodeo?
With the Pegasus.
You ever been to a rodeo and watched the cool girls race their horses through barrels? I'd
magical.
Magic. But I wouldn't say that these
they're riding a magical horse.
They're riding a magical horse, yes.
We're really tripling down on the sleepover energy. Welcome once again to the studio if you're watching us. This is the sleepover room, is what we've called this room. Because as you can see, there's a futon. Directly behind me, there is a full bed. And then directly behind Rio, there's a bunk bed. So 2 more beds. So we're talking maximum occupancy if you really squeeze. What are we talking, like 7?
Yeah, I think we fit
5?
5 people in here last time. So
we had a little housewarming party. We moved into a new apartment. By a new apartment, I mean my parents' basement, which does feel fitting for talking about on a Barbie podcast in a weird way, right? So we invited, we had a little housewarming party.
Yes.
And a part of that was watching Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus, because if you're listening to this, it means that you are a close personal friend of ours.
Yeah.
And you know that we like watching Barbie and you like watching Barbie with us.
Yeah.
And so we just invited some people over and watched Barbie. And it was a good one. I will say it was a more fun viewing experience, just the more sleepover you get. But a worse podcast experience because I took no notes and was just having a good time riffing and goofing live during the watch. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see how much of this movie still exists for me. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of it. We had a great time. Everyone really enjoyed watching it. We had some people who were new to Barbie movies. We had some people who loved this one as a kid. Some people who didn't really vibe with it. What was your experience with Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus?
So a note for those of you who've probably seen this, as you may know, that this movie came out with a 3D option. So you got the DVD, and that's my experience, is I had the DVD, and we had the 3D option, which this didn't show up at all in the movie that we were watching because it wasn't 3D. Our stolen, pirated version that we were showing everybody. But there would be the little polar bear, Shiver, occasionally would pop up in like a little pink circle at the bottom of the screen with like 3D glasses. And then that's how you would know to put it on. So that's my experience.
Because it would suck to wear them the whole time?
Yeah, it was just a little like cardboard like cereal box 3D
Hold
glasses.
them up to your face.
Yeah, and we lost ones, and so then my babysitter brought Shark Boy and Lava Girl ones for David to use. So
I remember the Shark Boy and Lava Girl ones.
Yes. But I've never seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but I
think
have used the 3D glasses.
3D's a bad experience.
And it's a little spooky in this movie, too. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's lots of vegetables getting thrown around in this movie. And that was a little
always
ooky,
say
spooky.
that.
I do always say that. I'm like, oh, Barbie Magic of the Pegasus? Barbie Magic of Pegasus? Oh, let me take that again. Oh, Barbie Magic of Pegasus 3D? That's a lot of vegetables.
That's a lot of vegetables.
That's a lot of vegetables.
You know what's the only thing worse than watching a movie in 3D? Watching a 3D movie in 2D. When there's the parts that are so explicitly meant to be just a fun 3D moment.
Yeah.
But just looks so terrible.
Let's talk about this movie, shall we?
Oh, sure. I'm not dreading it. We didn't even riff this long for Fairytopia, and we didn't want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So let's just get into it.
Let's get into it. So there is no Kelly Shelley opening. I think those are completely abolished. They're gone.
Can you set the location? Because I couldn't if I tried.
Of where this takes place?
The time and place, maybe?
So my thought process is that this is like kind of loosely inspired by the Ice Queen or the Snow Queen, which is a story, folklore, ballet type of deal. That like also is loosely an inspiration for Frozen.
Yeah, beat you to it again, Disney.
Literally
you thought
beat
you could
you
get
to
to
it
Rapunzel, got you by a decade. You thought you could get to this Ice Queen. It didn't really, actually.
It doesn't
There's
really
no
have,
Ice Queen in this.
It doesn't really have anything to do with it.
She just likes ice.
But like place and theme and stuff, I would imagine we're getting kind of Scandinavian. And it's I would say the early 1800s and also 2004.
Everything feels so unanimously like an American imagining what Scandinavia looks like in the early 1800s, plus Barbie wears jeans.
Plus Barbie wears jeans, plus Barbie wears choker, plus Barbie wears bolero jacket.
And
so we all know.
She looks great in all of these. I know you guys were worried. Here's the update that you were waiting for before we get into deep. Barbie's played by Barbie again in this
She's
one.
back.
She's back. We looked into it last time. She was actually being audited by the IRS for the filming of Fairytopia.
Oh, yeah.
So she couldn't
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we were going to tell you that.
But Barbie's back. She's
back.
No wrongdoing. She paid too much taxes. Is what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
She wanted universal health care and tried to just pay for it.
And they wouldn't let her.
And they turned it down.
No.
Yeah.
So the movie opens.
She looks great in this one, though.
She looks great in this one. The movie opens with the Queen. Do you remember this? Because I didn't. I had to rewatch the opening sequence this morning.
Oh, yeah. It opens with the Queen, who's Barbie's mom, and the dad, who is maybe getting weekend at Bernie's. He looks like he's dead. He looked like he died and is being propped up for this whole movie. Huh. Barbie ice skating, doesn't it?
No. It opens with the Queen, and the Queen's walking around her castle. And Annika, that's Barbie's name in this movie. And she doesn't answer. So she opens the door because Barbie has parents that don't respect her privacy. But she walks in and she drops her birthday gift because Princess Annika's gone. And so then she goes over to the side of the room where there's this big rope and just starts. And that is the princess's missing bell, because as soon as she starts ringing that bell, everybody in the whole town is like, oh no, the princess is missing. So I just like that they established a princess's missing bell right in her bedroom.
She doesn't seem to like go missing in a diverse sort of category of ways. It seems like she's always ice skating every time she goes missing.
And to the point where the dad, when he hears the bell, is like, again? Yeah, Annika's got some sass, some spunk, and she's pretty like decisive, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like she's a very active protagonist.
So Barbie's ice skating. She meets a small boy named Eric. That's the only thing that happens.
Babe! It's a little
Shiver?
Barkle. You completely forgot about Shiver.
I did
Everyone's
completely
favorite
forget about
character.
Shiver.
Bibble 2.
Check for punchable sidekick.
Check for punchable sidekick.
I like Bibble better than I like Shiver.
I like Bibble better than I like Barbie Fairytopia.
Bibble is awful, but worth talking about.
Yeah.
And funny to do an impression of. And Shiver is a lost polar bear baby cub that
just hanging around while Barbie's
cold.
ice skating. and is cold all the time. So not a very good polar bear.
So Barbie, you know, the townspeople love her, but I think they also are kind of annoyed, probably that, like, the police have to keep showing up at their town ice skating lake and take Barbie back to the castle. It does seem to kind of, like, grind things to a halt when that happens. But they like Barbie. They like Annika. She's a great ice skater. She takes kids around to skate with her. Can you imagine being little Eric? This real Tiny Tim cholera-looking kid who's really bad at ice skating, and Barbie skates up to you and is like, will you skate with me?
Well,
Getting a
I
little
feel like
snowball.
we're still skipping some
set up.
important stuff.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because she was just ice skating outside in the countryside, and then she returns, because we rung the bell.
That's
Princess
true.
is missing. We come back. I'm not a baby anymore. Big fight.
Big fight.
Then that night, she sneaks out to go. This is important so that you know that every bad thing that happens
Is her
from here on
fault.
out is Barbie's fault.
That didn't even register with
This
me.
is
That's
an
why I
important
was just
part.
skipping ahead.
This is an important part of the story, is that Barbie knows it's all her fault because she snuck out. And also when also the townspeople, I wouldn't say are like, we love you, Princess Annika. When they're all like, they like stop playing their music. Everybody kind of like parts the eyes.
she's
They're
the
like,
princess.
what are you doing here?
You're right, though. She's sneaking out. They don't want to get pepper sprayed and beat up, you know?
Yeah.
Anybody could be accused of kidnapping the
Kidnapping
princess.
Annika.
That's so funny. Is this like a being socialized as a girl thing? That you are trained to read this movie as like, well, if Barbie wouldn't have snuck out, none of this would
I
ever
wrote a lot of
happen.
notes of like, this movie is interesting because I was in my second watch, I was pinpointing a lot of things of like, oh, well, that kind of really messed with my brain chemistry, the way I, small child, interpreted this, and the way it was interpreted for me.
Did not even register to me.
Yeah, it's an important
just seemed-
element, is that it's all her fault.
Okay, well, because a magical man
Yes.
with heterochromia,
Yeah.
heterochromia, one of those two, where you got different colored eyes,
He's...
and that's the only thing particularly hetero about him, I would say.
Yeah.
We're leaning into the, like, gay villain stereotype
Yes, that's
pretty
true.
strongly here.
But man, he slays.
It's hard, I don't know.
I...
Those of you who identify as a gay villain, I know there's some of you out there listening, let us know if you think this particular portrayal is offensive. I'm not going to make that call. I like this character.
I had a
He's
crush
the
on him.
worst. He's like...
I had a big crush on Wenlock. Still do.
He's a very well-dressed...
I have two types. It's Wenlock and this man.
He looks like he's playing the villain in a community theater Shakespeare production with a bigger budget than they should have. It's like what he kind of looks like. Mm-hmm. Goatee, mustache, rides down on a griffin.
He's really riding on that Lord Licorice energy for sure.
He's literally riding a griffin, which is
True.
cool.
That is cool.
And he flies down from the sky, which I think he was just going to do anyway. This has nothing to do with Barbie ice skating.
I kind of like that it's her birthday.
Yeah, he was just going to show up.
And the second that it's her birthday, he's showing up like,
Do we
ding,
hear
ding.
Do we hear what age
I think
it
it's
is?
18.
I would hope so.
I think it's literally it's
Do they
the second she turns 18, Wenlock's like,
Do they say that?
I don't know.
Because it could be
Could be 16.
any age.
Could
be
be
30.
14. If we want to get accurate,
Could be 35.
could be 35.
It's hard to tell with this gal.
I think it's 18 because
I'm going to say it's 18
yeah.
for...
We can do some math
legality's
later once
sake.
we introduce a couple more characters in their supposed ages, but
That's true. He comes down and it's like, happy birthday, Annika. I'm going to
she's like, thanks.
marry me.
And I, personally, I would say yes. I'd be like, okay.
This Barbie has, like, the least main character energy. Another Barbie in this situation would be like, I can't marry you.
Me?
I'm supposed to be the queen. I can't abandon my people. And this Barbie's like,
Ew, no.
no.
Ew.
What?
No. What?
Who are you? Because she has, personality. And
Not to take away from
stuff.
Annika's, like, power and her, like, strong sense and the way that she stands up to him. But at this point, though, she's also wearing just, like, the cutest little, like, pink cupcake ice skating dress. And we didn't mention that, but I did just want to say
Almost-
that. This is maybe one of my favorite Barbie dresses, is this sneaking out to go ice skating at night dress. She wears her hair up, and I love it when Barbie wears her hair up in that big, huge donut bun. She looks incredible. But then she's also like, no, you're gross.
Almost every look
Love
is
that.
really good from her.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, the king and queen come rushing down to be like, no, Wenlock, get out of here. And Wenlock says,
Stop.
Want me to do it again? And that's a weird thing for him to say.
Yeah.
And then
He doesn't do it again.
he doesn't do it again.
He freezes everybody else.
He freezes everybody else. Again what? You'll find out.
He freezes everybody else.
Everyone in the town.
Except for Barbie, and then it's like...
You have 3 days
Think about
or this
it.
is permanent. Let me know if you want to get hitched.
I promise in 3 days I can just thaw these guys out. They'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. A Pegasus shows up.
Yep.
And Pegasus Ex Machina swoops Barbie up and flies her away.
Yeah, like that.
And takes her to a city in the cloud.
Cloud Kingdom.
Called the Cloud Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Cloud Castle.
Cloud Castle of Cloud Kingdom. In the clouds.
In the Cloud City.
And not in Cloud City.
You said Cloud City first.
I said a Cloud City. Cloud City, capital C. That's where
in
Lando. That's where Lando Calrissian lives.
Okay.
So we meet our next
MILF.
a beautiful older lady.
MILF.
She's the Cloud Queen.
Yes.
She's cool. She's got a lot of Pegasi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And guess who else is there?
Who else is there?
Friggin' Kelly.
Yeah, we get the triplets again, but this is their best. I think this is them at their best. Because we get the triplets, they all have their own little hairstyles, their own little outfits, and they all have their own little Pegasus. And so this is we were talking about sleepover culture. Every single person had to pick which one of these little girls you are. And we all know that most of us are going to be the yellow and peach one because that one's like the least traditional and we all really like her. But I will say that the purple one, she's got her hair up in this huge ponytail. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, but we did all pick the yellow one.
Yeah, we did.
Every single one
of us is like, duh, that one. We do get a lot of exposition up in the Cloud Kingdom, though, because we've got all of these Pegasi, we've got the Cloud Queen, all of the little girls are like the colors of sunsets and sunrises, and so they actually control whether the sun sets and sunrises. And then also this Pegasus named Brietta
Emphasis on sis.
Pegasus.
It took me watching this movie at the beginning, still hosting a party, say 40% like paying attention to this movie. It took me like 30 seconds to figure out that the Pegasus was Barbie's sister.
Pretty much the minute that she's like, hold on, and she gets on the Pegasus, then Will goes, oh, is that her sister? And every single girl in that room went, boo, no, stop.
Yeah,
Shut up.
It was
this is not fun with you.
It was not the early twist that I think they were hoping it to be, but it's cool. I like the setup that Barbie has a Pegasister.
Pegasister.
Barbie's sister is a Pegasus. Let's say that. And she is going to help because Homeboy also showed up, presumably on her 18th birthday.
Yeah.
And instead of freezing everybody and making her decide in 3 days, he just turned her into Pegasus.
Just turned her into a horse. And it didn't work. And so I guess he really sat on that and reflected.
I think I should have
journaled about it for like 18 years and was like, okay, next time I'm going to freeze everybody else.
We don't see her in human form for a long time, but she's beautiful.
Yeah, she does go up to like a mirror and you can kind of...
Yeah. Oh, we do kind of see her pretty quickly.
She's got some strawberry blonde hair.
Because he's going after these very beautiful princesses. Mm-hmm. He has 3 wives already, and he turns them all into trolls after he marries them.
The most bodacious trolls you've ever seen, though. They're still hot.
They're still hot trolls, but it's interesting that, like, that's his type. Is the only thing that you can... At first you're like, these troll women slaves... How cruel of him to turn them into trolls. But if he's kidnapping, like, 2005's literal beauty ideal and wants to turn her into a troll before he marries her, I think that's just his taste.
Yeah.
You know?
That might just be a Wenlock thing.
He has 3 wives. You guys joked about it at some point in this, because we cut back to his castle where he's talking to these women.
Yeah.
And then someone said, those are his wives. And I laughed. And I thought, that's funny.
Nope.
Who are these troll ladies?
Those are his wives.
Canonically, he's married to all 3 of them.
His wives, yeah. But we're up in the Cloud Kingdom. Back to the girlies.
Oh, yay.
We got sister is a horse. We got 3 days to unfreeze everybody or marry Wenlock. Don't worry. Cloud Queen has a solution. What is it, Will?
all of the little girls control some part of the day-night cycle. They're like day, night, and dusk or something. They have names like that.
I think they're like all the colors of the changing sky.
Sunrise, sunset.
Because it's like, I'm lavender and I'm amber and I'm... Yeah, I know.
And they agree to like hold the sun back from setting.
Yeah.
They like slow down time, which is
a little bit.
Literally the plot of the video game, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The other thing is, the Cloud Queen is like, hey, you can build a wand of light, and that'll solve this.
Using what? I'll give you a hint.
No, I've got it.
You got it?
Totally, I remember.
Okay.
An act of courage.
No, but courage, yes.
A ditty that you can tap your feet to.
Yeah.
And a limerick. A dirty limerick.
A dirty limerick.
Yeah, like a naughty...
With a little shot of espresso in it.
A naughty limerick. And then that's how you make the wand of light.
No, it is a measure of courage. It is a ring of love.
A ring of love.
And a gem of ice lit by hope's eternal flame.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that.
So we go to a spooky forest. Brietta's like not so sure about trying to build this wand of light because she's tried before and has failed. But Barbie, like I said, she's pretty decisive.
And Barbie
when
has
she makes her mind to
hands.
do something, she's going to do it. She also has thumbs. So we go to a spooky forest. I don't know. I don't remember why we want to be in the spooky forest. So I just assume like, oh, we have a voyage, if you will. So spooky forest, stop one. In the spooky forest, we meet
Han Solo.
Han Solo.
We meet like every 16-year-old boy who has based their personality off of Han Solo.
Yeah.
Named
this is Aiden. Yes. And they end up in some sort of trap. Aiden cuts him loose.
Also very Star Wars.
Yeah, you know, Aiden's for sure is pretty Star Wars-y.
Like his costume looks like it's from Star Wars.
He and Annika do not get along right away.
Wow.
Shiver, though, wants a piece of this man.
Yeah, Shiver loves him.
But he's kind of just a jerk to Barbie. And is like, peace out, bye.
He's like not a jerk. He's just kind of Han Solo-y to Barbie of like, I'm only out for my own skin, kid.
You're not going to survive out here because you're a dumb girl. You know how Han Solo is.
You know how Han Solo is, of like, you know, he's not a jerk. He just hates women.
And he just hates women and doesn't think that she can succeed
And
at anything that
isn't
she
gonna
wants to
be
do and assumes that he's
helpful
better.
Or respectful in any way.
Yeah, but he's not a jerk.
But he's really cute, so it's kind of hot when he does it.
Shiver falls into another trap. And Annika's like, oh no, I gotta go save him. Aiden's like, nope, you're gonna literally die. I'll just stay here with your hot horse sister. Annika goes, okay. And we end up where?
Oh,
the
troll. This is the Shrek.
Yeah.
Shrek's house.
Shrek's house.
It's Shrek's house. Uh-huh. Like, watch this movie just to this point where you see they took the 3D model of Shrek's house. It's like the tree trunk and everything. Uh-huh. And Shrek lives there. Mm-hmm. And he says, hey, what are you doing in my house?
Yep.
Like Shrek does. And
His name's Ollie.
There's this fun moment where he's much bigger than Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
Which kind of does make you wonder if canonically these are all Barbie-sized people. Because he's throwing carrots into the pot that are approximately the length of Barbie. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that big people can just grow bigger crops.
I always assumed that they were like big, giant Alaskan fruits and vegetables.
I just don't think crops grow to like match the size of the mouth of the one who planted them.
Huh.
And so I think, here's my theory.
Okay.
Shout out to Laurel for chatting this up with me. I think they're all Barbie-sized in all of these movies, every single one.
All of these movies.
And they're set up in Nutcracker.
So in Nutcracker, does she shrink to Polly Pocket size?
Yes, she starts as Barbie-sized, and then she gets shrinked down.
To like a Lego minifigure?
To like one of the like micro figure, like even smaller than I would say. Much smaller than a minifigure. Like, they're tiny. They're kind of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in Nutcracker. So Barbie's in Barbie Nutcracker is probably like 3 or 4 atoms tall. And in this one, they're all Barbie-sized except for
Ollie.
Shrek. Who is human-sized.
Interesting.
and tries to eat Barbie. And this is where the movie turns into an adaptation of Homer's Iliad.
The Odyssey.
Are those the same thing?
No.
You're right. Related, though.
We're talking about the one with Odysseus, yeah?
Totally.
Yeah, Odyssey.
You're right. Might be. This is the Odyssey, where Odysseus has to trick the Cyclops into not eating him with riddles and mind games. Except Barbie just kind of emasculates
It's
this guy.
such a slay.
And it's like, if you were actually a big, strong troll...
I literally was just with another Shrek, and he was way stronger than you.
Yeah, he could rip the door off of the hinges.
I bet you can't tie yourself to your house and destroy your entire home and let us go because you're not strong enough.
And it works like a charm.
It works like a charm. And then she takes her little hair ribbon out, kind of gets him out of the big pot that they're in. They escape. And then as soon as she gets back, Brietta's like, how did you escape? And she's like, oh, just with this little ribbon. And then the ribbon turns into a staff because what? That's a measure of courage. It's just as tall as she is.
A measure of courage. They felt really good about that.
Yeah.
About that connection.
Measure? I hardly know her.
So we've got the staff. This movie is structured in D&D structure. It's 3 fetch quests before you go fight the final boss. That's a great way to make a movie.
I think I told you that when we were watching this.
Yeah.
Could you host a Barbie-themed D&D session? So then we go to the shop. We have our measure of courage, but we really don't know what to do about a ring of love.
Aiden's in at this point,
or
by the
a
way.
gem of ice lit by hope's eternal flame. Yeah, he witnesses one miracle and he's kind of like, all right, I'm with you. Let's go visit Ferris. And Ferris is this nasty little pervert that owns a little merchant shop type deal.
In the forest.
And they're just going to try and get some information about the gem of ice lit by hope's eternal flame. Ferris tells them where to find it. He said that somebody had been looking for it before, some spooky man. Anyways, so they go to Ferris, and he gives them information about where to find this ice crystal thing. They go to try and find the ice crystals. It's in this big mountain. All the snow off of the side where they see a carving of the directions for how to go get
Celtic
your very
runes.
own ice crystal. And it says, take only what you need, but never from greed, which is another thing that I was like, maybe that did some bad things to my brain chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was a college freshman, I was like, I don't really need a pillow.
That's greed.
I'll just use a bag of menstrual pads, because that's comfy.
Yeah.
And I think,
If
actually,
Barbie
if
can
I was
do it-
going to track it back to, like, what was the inciting incident for being like, do I need blankets? Do I need a bed? It's probably this movie.
Aiden is a gambling addict, which was a much heavier subject than I was expecting. He ran away from home because he gambled away his family's fortune.
Yeah.
And it's now like, this piece of ice is probably worth a lot of money.
He's kind of a jerk, and he has a past.
Sign me
Ladies.
up.
Ladies, is Aiden the hottest?
He's the most interestingly written dude, but I like the Princess and the Pauper Princes better. He's just got this like edgelord kind of vibe that is not
but he's kind
authentic.
he's kind of the first one to not be like perfect Ken doll guy. And I appreciate that. But yeah, so Annika takes her ice crystal and Aiden goes to take an ice crystal too, and she's like, you can't do that. That's not allowed. We're gonna destroy this whole, it's gonna close in on us. But he takes it and he's fine because he does need it to reconcile with his family. But then Shiver takes like 25 ice gems, and so then the ice gem factory mountain starts to explode.
Shiver has a lot more gambling debts than Aiden.
So we all gotta get on Brietta and escape, and we do. But man, it's spooky, and this sequence in 3D slays. Just lots of ice and gems.
This sequence in 2D, pretty mid.
Pretty mid. But it's not for that, you know? Anyways, we're super cold, super exhausted. How are we gonna get a ring of love? Don't worry, it's easy. Brietta just takes off her tiara when we're all gathered around the fire, catching our breath, and she's like, could you weld this into a ring of love? And Aiden's like, oh yeah, I could. So,
okay, this is interesting. So, this is not following Dungeons and Dragons rules. Because if this was like the style of play that is encouraged by D&D, you would need to like go to the place where the ring is, and everyone knows that, and accomplish the task to do it. This is following the rules of play that, like, young people do before you enter your D&D phase, which is more structured, of, like, we need a ring of love. And the person on the playground is like, I have this hairband. It's ring-shaped. Like, whoa, you've had the ring of love the whole time. That's how the logic of this movie works. And it's kind of nice, but her crown is the ring of love.
Yeah, so Aiden blacksmiths this into a wand of light, and it's beautiful. And it works. It works, actually. The next morning, we catch a little glow from the tippy-tallest mountain, shoots through the ice, activates it, bada bing, bada boom, your sister's not a horse anymore. Wenlock also swings by Ferris's merchant to be like, hey, is anybody particularly horse-shaped or Barbie-shaped come through here? He's like, nah, it's a little fuzzy. And he keeps giving him money to give him more and more information about where Annika and Aiden, Brietta, and Shiver are. He does.
You seen any Barbies lately?
And then Wenlock turns him into a rug.
Do you have a Wenlock impression? Sorry to keep putting you on the spot, but I just remembered that Wenlock has a crazy voice. This vocal performance is
I can
wild.
hear it. I don't know if I can, especially once he turns him into a rug, and he's like, pew, and then he's a rug, and he's, now everyone can walk all over you. Something like that.
That's pretty good. You gave him, I think, a bit more European flair than the voice actor did. I know, and he should be. That's my petition, is that Wenlock should be 20% more European than he is. It's the only problem with
everyone
Wenlock,
can walk on. There's like a growl there.
Because
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't think this is good content either.
Carry on. He turns him into a rug.
Uh-oh. Now Wenlock knows where everybody is. Then we kind of get into a little bit of a fighty fight for some reason with the gang, where Aiden leaves. Aiden's like, peace out. And he's a little miffed with her for making Brietta carry her all this way and all that good stuff. So anyways, now we're flying. We get some magic horses from the Cloud Kingdom so that Brietta and Annika can fly somewhere. Not
magic. Just Pegasus.
Pegasi. People. What? Wenlock shows up, though, knocks Brietta unconscious. Don't worry, though. Annika has the Wand of Light, but she uses it. She's like, destroy him! And it doesn't work. So then Wenlock laughs at her and stuffs her underneath an avalanche. Aiden comes and saves her. We go to the Cloud Kingdom. Please wake up. I need you. She wakes up. We're like, okay, time to go fight Wenlock at his house, which we do. Take it away. I don't really have anything else to say.
So they go to this final confrontation, and Barbie converts Wenlock's 3 wives to the cause. She turns them against their not-so-loving husband, and it takes quite a bit of convincing before they maybe seem to realize that they don't like this setup.
Yeah.
But, it's hard to be kidnapped and forced into plural marriage.
Yeah.
And she, Wand of Lights it and has this kind of, hard time getting it to work again. Getting dunked on. But once she finally gets this thing to work, and she does do this very, exorcism, command with the staff of, in the name of my parents and the love of my people, I command you to die, or whatever. She does some, very powerful spell.
Yeah.
Gets a great...
I'll do all of Wenlock's spells.
Yeah, she gets a great dress, of course, when she gets the Wand of Light. Mm-hmm. I loved this dress.
It's a good dress.
I gasped. I said it before, I'll say it again. Audible gasp.
It's a good dress.
And then...
it's not my jam, but it's a good dress.
She does the worst thing you could do to a person in a Barbie movie.
Make him bald?
Makes him unconventionally attractive.
Makes him balding?
He gets a little bit shorter.
Uh-huh.
A little bit more of a belly. And some male pattern baldness.
Yeah.
And that ends it for him right there. He's
and
like,
then his
you're
wives
right.
are hot again, and they just bully him
and
forever. I love that they're like, let's stay married. And you have to do everything for us forever.
Yeah, they kind of just flip the tables on him, but I think they genuinely found love for each other in this experience and bonded in their trauma.
For sure.
And they definitely take it out on Wenlock, who really his only comeuppance is like he is made a bit less attractive.
He has to get pedicures for the rest of his life.
That's this movie.
And
her and Aiden
that's it. Aiden goes back, reconciles with his family, but he doesn't have his crystal anymore because he had to give it to Barbie to defeat Wenlock. But that's okay because his parents still love him anyways.
Yeah.
You know, he lost all of their money.
They're totally cool with it. They're just happy to see him again. And he's like, oh, by the way, here's my girlfriend on a Pegasus.
Here's my wife.
She's the princess.
And then we go ice skate in the Cloud Castle.
Yeah.
And Brietta and the Cloud Queen just kind of stand there and enjoy the heterosexual ice skating dancing. And are just kind of gay over there.
They're witnessing it. I think Brietta is ace.
That's Arrow ace representation right there, baby.
And yeah, she's really great for that.
Yeah.
And an icon. But it just wraps up nicely. Like, they beat the guy and then they fall in love. Mm-hmm. And they save everybody and they do ice skating now in the sky instead of with all the poor people on the ground.
Yeah.
Great bloopers this time around. We got bloopers again.
My favorite thing is that Ollie, the Shrek man, his like kind of recurring bit in the bloopers is just that he like is an actor and is like taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah,
like a
really
show up
good.
for one day a shooting actor.
That was my favorite part too.
Yeah.
There's a couple recurring bits of him like being a classically trained actor.
I don't know if this line, Ollie, like lunch. I'm like, I don't really know if it's like saying what I want to say. And the director Barbie is like, no.
In all of the shots in the bloopers, every person behind the camera is a woman. Like the director, the film crew, the DP. Yeah, the like in-universe director and DP are both women.
Well, they're all Barbie.
But in real life, they were not women. Let me tell you that. But I thought that was a weird choice.
I think it would be a nice choice if there were any other women that worked on this movie.
If women actually worked on the movie, that would be awesome. If any woman
besides Brie Larson worked on this movie.
Yeah, great end credit song by that Brie Larson.
Look
it up.
Yeah. Hope Has Wings.
Hope Has Wings, performed by Brie Larson. You want a little sneak up for a little snack break?
Yeah.
I think for snack, I want to wake everybody up with a Thin Mint milkshake. Oh. It's Girl Scout season, and we can just blend some of those up in some mint chocolate chip ice cream. And you know what? It might wake parents up, but I got cool parents. They'll probably want some milkshake.
Yeah, it's true. Let's do it. I want one.
Okay, let's go.
Ding ding, order up.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Thin Mints make a great milkshake.
Yeah.
Pro tip from the podcasters.
You heard it here first.
So, this week, I was kind of torn between what I wanted to do for my segment, so I'm just going to do both kind of rapid fire. The first thing that I was thinking about was just Pegasus, which in this movie is just, like, it really gets down to the basics of, like, these are horses with wings. They don't have magic. They're fun colors. But that's just kind of it. And I feel like Pegasus have been such associated with, like, girl movies and girl fairy tales and girl play. And I was just kind of curious about, what is there anything in this movie that relates to, like, the mythology and the history of Pegasi?
It's their family crest.
And is there anything that kind of makes Pegasus for girls, I guess?
Yeah.
So just, and I didn't really do like a ton of good research. I read all the Percy Jackson books and I did a quick Google search. So those of you who are like super deep into mythology, shout out corrections as you feel the need to. First of all, one thing that I learned, but when you first Google like Pegasus and you're looking, for kind of the background of that, Google has this very helpful like drop down arrow of like, what species is Pegasus? And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like what kind of horse is it? And you just click it and it just says winged horse. Which
you thought for a second.
Pegasus, I learned, is actually a guy. It's just the one. So Pegasus, for girls, was born of the blood of Medusa. And so this boy, Pegasus, this boy horseman, His name is Pegasus.
Is he a boy or is he a horse?
He's a horse. He is a winged horse. Like, that is his species is winged horse. His name is Pegasus. Mm-hmm. But Brietta is not a Pegasus. She's a winged horse. Related to
like
the Adam and Eve of Pegasi, Pegasus,
like
I guess.
Pegasus was a winged horse. Mm-hmm. Brietta's also a winged horse.
Also a winged horse. But it really should be Barbie and the Magic of Winged Horse. Let's just talk briefly about our girly pop, Pegasus. Because again, I just wanted to see if there's anything that is resembled in this movie at all. And what makes this guy so feminine, so flirty, so for girls. So like I said, he was born of the blood of Medusa when she was slain. So like Pegasus's parents are Medusa and Poseidon. Because it is said that Poseidon looked like a horse when he was seducing Medusa. And those of you that are familiar with that story know that seducing is a really generous word to use there. So anyways, that, when I think about that, I really think about cute lavender Pegasi.
Yeah. He's all horses are like Poseidon's shtick, right?
Yeah. Pegasus is so metal, and I really feel like Pegasus is cool and should be established as cooler in media that we have today.
More cool Pegasus.
Yeah. He's associated with Perseus and saving Andromeda.
Oh, cool.
So just flying around with the head of his mother, because he uses the Gorgon to kill a sea monster. And then he's also associated with Bellerophon, and I was like, okay, let's see what this guy has. And Bellerophon slayed the Chimera, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe Wenlock is kind of associated with like a Chimera, but I think it is just more of a griffin. Because a Chimera is like a goat lion thing, and so I was like, maybe. But no, I don't think so. I don't think this movie really has anything to do with like Pegasus in media.
The man.
Other than it's a winged horse. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that Pegasus was the like proper noun of that guy in mythology. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the music used. There's some great music used for this Barbie movie, although I wouldn't say that it's like extremely standout in the variety of classic music that we use for other Barbie movies. So in this one we hear Symphony No. 6 by Beethoven. Who did that? Is it Beethoven? I don't know.
Oh, he did write at least 6 symphony.
I think he did. Okay, yeah, it is Beethoven's 6th Symphony.
Is that the da-na-na-na?
I think it might be in there.
I think that's Beethoven 6.
But I was interested in this one because I was like, this music is very familiar. And we've also heard, if you're a Fantasia stan, I feel like this is not the first time I've brought up Fantasia.
Yeah. A
Stantasia. This music, so Pastoral, or Symphony No. 6 by Beethoven, is also used in Fantasia to depict Pegasus and like winged horses, and also like centaurs, and it's like there's a lot of like racist stuff that was edited out of this one, if you know which one I'm talking about. But there's a lot of Pegasus, and I was like, okay, like does this musical symphony have anything to do with Pegasus, or did we just kind of take Barbie, did we take that from Fantasia and just kind of clip these two pieces of music with the imagery of Pegasus? And I found that there was like a lot of stuff about like satyrs and like playing the pipes and stuff, but there's nothing on Pegasus. So I do think that they kind of just took inspiration from Fantasia, which is okay. What a great thing to take inspiration from. But I thought that was interesting. We were also using Grieg's Morning, which is the like... But I thought that this movie uses it really well because it's only used for a little bit when we're looking for the mount that can light hope's eternal flame by catching the sunlight through the snow, and you know
the Indiana Jones part.
The Indiana Jones part. But I didn't even notice it because I feel like that music is kind of cartoony, hokey. It's morning music. But I think that they use it, they kind of Barbie and Magic of Pegasus-ify it so that it feels actually like really evocative during that part. So I liked that. And then this also uses for Wenlock, Hayden's Surprise. And I don't know, how much, do you know about this piece?
It's when they decided to bring him back to play Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah. Hayden Christensen's big surprise.
He was
the sequel
great
to
too.
Hayden Christensen Saves Christmas. So I don't know how commonly this story is told. I also don't know if it's true, and I didn't look it up because I don't want to know. But Hayden is the composer.
And an actor?
And Hayden with a Y. This one's Hayden.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Does Hayden Christensen spell his name?
I think so.
I did not know that. Well, anyways, he also writes symphonies. And the story goes that he got like really pissed off because people would come to listen to his music, but his audiences would fall asleep. And so he wrote this piece. And it's like very lilting, very quiet, kind of has like a lullaby quality to it. And so it's like da, 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 da.
I know this one.
You know that one? And then it keeps going really nice and soft. And he like goes really, really loud and it would wake up every single person in the audience. And I thought that that was kind of a fun little thing to use for Wenlock. But those are the musical motifs in there.
There's another one that I remember.
What's that?
In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Oh, yes, there is also in the Hall of the Mountain King. Yeah. So they're using that. There's like, I think I prefer a Barbie movie that kind of sticks to like one symphony or one ballet or one artist even. And this one's kind of using kind of a Little Einstein's feel. We're just kind of all over the place with this one. But I think that the choices that they used were effective. They don't like stand out a ton unless you're like looking for them. I feel like these ones are ones that you notice if you already know that music and are looking for it. And I don't think it necessarily like shapes your idea about like Haydn or Beethoven or Grieg. But I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
And Pegasus is just the one guy. That's all I have for you.
We have big news this week. It's really hard to be us. Our lives are so hard, everybody, because we have a Barbie podcast that 10 of you really like. And you guys also like sending us all of the Barbie stuff that comes out, which is correct.
Good.
This is a formal pat on the back, high five, kiss on the forehead. Keep the Barbie content coming. But we are professionals, and we've saved ourselves for you, listener. We have not watched Barbie teaser trailer 2 yet. I think we're the only people.
So hard.
We're the only people in the world. And let me tell you, my algorithm leans pretty Barbie heavy these days. Mm-hmm. It's hard to scroll without the Barbie trailer, that pink Warner Brothers logo auto playing. I've heard Hi Barbie.
I know.
A lot of times.
Sometimes I just scroll multiple times to like see the pink Warner Bros symbol, but I don't go any further than that.
I'm a weak man.
Yeah.
And I did look at all of the character posters.
Oh, yes.
Which
defo
looks so good. Margot Robbie.
Tag yourself. Which one are you?
I do think I'm unfortunately Michael Cera as Alan.
There's only one Alan.
And I think
dibs on the Dua Lipa mermaid. That's me. That one's me.
This is just the character posters that we're going off of right now.
I'm Margot Robbie, obviously.
And the tagline from us. I think we're going to get some story information in this trailer. But I think I really like how literally it's leaning into the Barbie-ness. Kate McKinnon is like the busted baby sister Barbie with the marker on her face.
I love her hair and makeup design because I've only seen it in her little face poster.
Do you remember her?
But the marker and the choppy hair. She's permanently in the splits. She's
always in the splits. I think that's really a nice touch.
I'm so excited about it.
And all the Kens are just Ken. It's a great reversal on, every other movie ever made, where all the guys are interesting and unique and diverse characters, and Margot Robbie's hot in this one. Mm-hmm. I really like that.
Yeah.
And just blatantly being
they really worked so hard to make Emma Mackey not look like Margot Robbie, huh, everybody?
They did a bad job. All right, let's go see
they did their best.
What's my doggy doing? Crunchy?
Hi, everyone. Will's busy, so now it's just my podcast. Welcome. Did you guys hear about this? Did you guys hear about this? Weird, huh? No, I know. Like, literally, that's what I was saying. But, Oh, hi.
Hello. I brought Crunchy.
Hello, Crunchertons.
We're doing a podcast, so you gotta be quiet, okay? Our dog's here in the studio because he was yelling. He was having a tough time out there. He heard us talking about the Barbie trailer without him. But he's here now. I think... So, we saved ourselves. We're going to watch this trailer now. You're probably not going to listen to us watch this trailer. You're probably not going to hear it. Maybe we'll upload the live reaction somewhere. But by the power of editing, we'll come back and tell you our thoughts in just a second. But any predictions from you? I think that Michael Cera as Alan, I think he's the antagonist of this movie.
I think so too.
I think
There's only one Alan.
I think he's the villain.
Yeah.
That's an evil sweater vest.
Uh-huh. I'm worried about Alan and Midge. They look like they're not doing so hot.
Let's watch. I will cede my time to Rio for the first comment.
So I was worried because everybody talks about Barbie going into the real world, right? But I was like, but Barbie World looks so fun, and I'm worried that we're not going to get to really explore Barbie World as much as I want to. But this makes me very, very hopeful. It seems like there's going to be a lot of Barbie World content, which I'm very excited about.
It was a lot. We're getting at least like a whole act in there, and probably coming back to it at the end, or staying in there for a lot of it. How would you describe Barbie Land? Mm-hmm. So it is for
perfect.
Those of you who haven't seen it.
It's perfect.
It's pink.
It's perfect.
It's very pink. Everyone's
really
super hot.
Yeah.
There's water, but not really. I liked the when play sets in the early 2000s just had like a drawing of a pool on the bottom of the play set. It looked like that, but the slide is functional.
Yeah.
Lots and lots and lots of doll referential humor.
It's good.
Made for adults who played with these dolls as kids. That's exactly what you want. And, Barbie taking her foot out of the shoe and
I'm also so curious
doesn't
now
move, it
that
just
she's
stays.
driving away from Palm Springs, Barbie Land. How similar is this just way better, Don't Worry, Darling?
that it looked
Is it
so
just
much like Don't Worry, Darling to
way
me.
better, Don't Worry, Darling?
I think this is Don't Worry, Darling
For girls.
is exactly this premise, but the very old, very tired, exact same version of it that we've seen in 50 Twilight Zone episodes with like no unique twist other than the technology has gotten more advanced. Mm-hmm. And this is Don't Worry, Darling with a thesis and for girls.
Yeah. One thing about girls' movies, too, I feel like, especially like fantasy world girls' movies, is like episode 1 is like fantasy girl comes to the real world. Or movie 1 is fantasy girl comes to the real world.
Enchanted.
And then in movie number 2, I go to fantasy world.
Yeah.
Where you have a human undercover. So I'm just saying, if that's
Greta,
what's going on here, Greta, give me a call.
If you need
Let me know.
a Rio for Barbie 2.
In Barbie World for Barbie 2,
I think this movie is going to be dangerous because I think I'm going to lose my girlfriend forever. I think we're going to go into Barbie, and I think Rio's going to come out and enter like a yellow wallpaper sort of catatonic state until I can take her to Barbie Land, which will never exist. And I think she's going to enter a genuine sort of, that's where I'm from. That's where I belong. Mm-hmm. I need to go home to there.
Yeah.
Because if I could take Rio there and let her live there, I would. That is the place that was made for you.
Hey, Mattel. Well, one thing that I feel really good about is that like Barbie, like the Mattel Instagram account and TikTok account are also like promoting this movie, which those are like primarily platforms that I think they're following as like kids. And so I think that what I'm hopeful is that like this will be a really, really fun movie, and it's for adults, but kids can watch this and still really enjoy it, and it doesn't like ruin your concept of Barbie.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? But then also Mattel, how long until Barbie Land? How long until Barbie Water Park?
It feels like
Legoland's
it's
got
coming.
like 8. So how long until we get one, huh?
It feels like Universal Studios just needs to plow down Simpsons Land the place, the Dr. Seuss village.
Yeah, we don't need it.
I think Dr. Seuss.
Get him out of here.
You know, you write some great rhymes.
One fish, two fish,
You hate-
red fish, Barbie
But
fish.
Dr. Seuss, for sure, hates women.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Barbie,
Barbie could write McElligot's Pool.
but
I'm just saying.
Dr. Seuss could never direct this movie.
No.
If
Barbie Land.
Mario gets a land, and Barbie's movie,
Mario has a land.
I can promise Barbie's movie is going to be a lot better than Mario's movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I
Blackjack Barbie would be good, though. It's too bad he was already busy, huh?
I only feel even more certain that Michael Cera is the villain in this movie. He shows up for one shot. And we've also got, like, corporate Will Ferrell. And
I think it's established to be the bad guy. But
it's a setup. Yeah. It's a setup. He's fine. Because this movie was paid for by doll-making corporations. They're not going to make themselves the bad guys. Are we going to get... Last question. Are we going to get, like, a zoom out? Is this movie going to end and reveal that it was, like, just a little girl playing with her Barbies?
I hope not.
Yeah, that would suck, right?
I hope not.
I want to believe. I want escapism. Mm-hmm. What if it zooms out and it's Greta Gerwig? Nope, that's also bad. Don't get meta with this. It's already so meta. That's my one request.
What is going on? I don't know. I don't care. Either.
Okay, I will say the trailer was better than I expected it to be. Better than I hoped it would be. That was the one that really feels like this is going to be the movie we wanted it to be.
I hope so.
And I'm excited.
Can we watch it again?
Yeah, we can watch it again. I'll fire it up right now. We're back from a second viewing. Margot Robbie is the Barbie of our generation. She's perfect. Mm-hmm. She's playing this note perfect. And so is Ryan Gosling.
I know. I listen, I was a little skeptical about Ryan Gosling, but this is winning me over.
And I love them together. Mm-hmm. They're good. It could have very easily been Ken's a moron and Barbie needs to find out that she's a little bit, that she deserves better, you know? But Ken's a moron and Barbie loves him.
Yeah, because I think it's...
and it's so good.
Yeah.
And he loves her. You can tell.
I'm glad it doesn't feel like she's like babysitting him thus far.
Not at all, yeah.
Which is good.
They are partners.
Yeah.
And that feels really fun. Because the tagline right there, she's everything, he's just Ken. Which is like not an indictment of Ken.
No, he's just Ken.
He's just Ken.
But Ken's such a good thing to be.
And Ken is such a great thing to be.
Ken is a great thing to be. I
like,
wanna be a Ken
this
girl.
is genuinely such a fun reimagining of society. Uh-huh. Of like, here, okay, boys, y'all were in charge for a while. Here's a matriarchal society.
Where you can just
where women are in government, and you guys get to just go hang out at the beach.
Hot.
Just be hot.
Yeah.
Like, letting men be what they think they're letting women be is, like, very compelling.
Also, how many musical numbers?
There was some choreography in there, guys, with at least 2 different locations in dance. Is this thing a musical? I hope so. I bet this will be on Broadway in 25 years.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
You okay?
July's so far away.
How many dancing princesses would you give Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus?
8.
I'll also give it an 8. I totally agree with that. Solid movie.
Really
8 out of
solid
12.
movie.
Oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be here before you even know it, my love.
I'm just so happy they're doing this for me.
Oh, I'm going to read a Letterboxd review.
Okay.
From our friend Jake, who watched this movie with us.
Oh, nice.
He gave it 3 stars.
Oh, nice.
There's always hope. Barbie. That's the quote that shows up at the end of every Barbie movie in the credits.
I think it does change sometimes.
Oh, it does change sometimes. It's been There's Always Hope more than once.
I think so.
Which is apparently just a great thing that Barbie once said.
Yeah.
Because it's like the last thing you see.
Francesca pointed out a really funny moment with this 5-star review. which is the Queen of the Clouds says, "It's built from a measure of courage, a ring of love, and a gem of ice lit by hope's eternal flame." To which Barbie says, "That's only 3 things."
That's so funny. Barbie's really good
Girl
at this
power.
one. This is like one of the Barbies that Greta Gerwig is like playing off of.
Sarah, with a 3-star review, pointed out something that I also felt, which Sarah says, "The scene with the giant felt so much longer when I was younger." And I agree. I was kind of surprised how quickly this movie clips.
It moves so fast. We have like the wand of light by like the midpoint in the movie.
People are just really loving to quote this movie in the reviews. 2.5 stars from the emoji of a soap. Aiden says, "Listen, I think. Barbie, don't! Hashtag feminism, hashtag girl boss, hashtag she told him, hashtag zinger, hashtag ouch, hashtag that's gotta hurt."
Phoebe with 3 stars, which I think is such a fair rating for this movie on Letterboxd. It's a good movie.
3.5 for me.
Phoebe said, "Those 3 wives at the end invented feminism."
They did.
They later, it's, you know how some movies end with like each character's picture and then it says what they went on to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like in 1921, Winlock's 3 wives helped secure the vote for women in the United States of America.
Which, isn't that so accurate? Because it was polygamist women that were really right up there
so
getting votes for women.
Utah history, man.
Utah history.
Those
Let's go.
polygamous women
Let's go.
learned that they...
What is it about polygamy that like really makes feminism an important value to you?
Let's bring it back. I'm not going to go on record with that.
I wonder why all the girlies in polygamy are like, maybe we should invent feminism.
Anyway, thanks for having a little sleepover with us. Mm-hmm. When's your mom picking you up? Oh, she's outside? Okay. I was actually hoping that we could play a little Mario Party. We could just play next time.
Yeah.
Well, tell your mom thanks for letting you sleep over.
Hey, next week, everybody, we'll be back with Mermania.
And we've got some hot new segments that we're excited to debut.
Yeah.
So
there's some fun stuff coming in the next episode.
Sure to tune in.
Please be there. Don't let the fact that it's Barbie, Fairytopia, Mermaidia scare you away. I think it's gonna be good. I think there's some good stuff.
I think I'm gonna like this one.
I think there's gonna be some good stuff.
I think there's no way you make Fairytopia and you don't learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. Well,
so
they
this
made the
one's
same
gonna
movie
be good.
like 4 more times after it, so we'll see.
Well,
see you on
July 21st, 2023.